Hey everyone, it's July already, so let's have a goals check-in for the second quarter of the year, or rather how I'm doing in the first half of the year. And let's start with the bookish goals. My Goodreads goal was set for 70 books as usual, and I must admit I already surpassed that. That never happened before. I read a total of 75 things, including the 2 books that I am in the middle of right now. When I look at the breakup, I read 17 physical books, 18 ebooks, and 40 books in audiobook form. So I know how that happened. I've been walking a lot and stress listening to shorter books and the Murderbot Diaries, which makes up for also the total of 17 rereads I read and listened to in the first half of the year. I'm quite happy with that. Let's also have a little look at my not quite formed sub goals, but I'm tracking this year translated books, and I've read 8 of those so far. I also read 8 books in German, which is something I wanted to increase and have read more than I expected. So I'm quite happy about that. I read 10 books that I categorize as classics. I'm also including modern classics. So there were quite a few more than the old classics, but quite enjoying the books I've been reading there. My ongoing goal of continuing series is not so bad. I read 16 books that I can count as sequels that I haven't read before. So I'm not counting rereads double. I'm only counting the book the first time when I read it this year. After that, I just don't count everything else that it ticks off. Aside from continuing series, I also managed to start 4 series, but I think I'm doing okay on either DNFing the series or working my way forward on those series. So I'm happy with the series goal. It's moving forwards, maybe slower than I wanted, but it's still moving and not stagnating. That's a good thing. Aside from fiction, I also read and listened to 10 nonfiction books this year already, which is also a good number. I'm quite happy with that. When it comes to authors, I'm not deep tracking things. I'm superficially tracking. I'm paying attention to how many unique authors I read. That's 55 in those 75 books. Of those 55 authors, I put 21 in the female category and 33 under male, and 1 who I know didn't identify as either. If one of the others didn't identify as either as well, and I didn't know it, that's because I didn't do personal super research on authors. I'm also not tracking where the authors are from. I'm just basically seeing how many different authors I'm reading. So looking at all of that, I'm quite happy with the amount I've read this year. I'm also quite happy with what I have read this year. One reason why I've read so many books this year so far is because I've been reading a lot of books with under 200 pages. I keep putting those on my wish list, but never feel the need to buy them or to get them. And since I've been reading a lot more digital books due to lockdown and other non-bookish availabilities, I kind of went for those a lot. And I really enjoyed that. So looking to continue with that to really reduce my wish list of shorter books. But then, of course, I only have the big ones left. We'll deal with that later. When it comes to life goals, I've decided to scrap all the goals I set myself. Most of those were centered around being more social again and doing social activities after work. But we all know it's a pandemic going on, and even though Germany is opening up quite a lot again, I don't really want to go to most of the things that I had intended to do if they are available yet. And so I've decided that the social goals I'm going to put aside, partly also because a lot of the isolation and after being a recluse last year, I've noticed that I'm struggling with social activities, or my social skills have seriously declined, and I'm much more happy on my own most of the time. And that's okay. I want to focus more on the work-life balance, even though I'm grateful that I'm still working. If you don't know, I'm still working 9 to 5 and full-time despite the pandemic. And we have moved to alternating between office and home. So every other day I'm at home. And strangely enough, that is screwing with my mental game and the time management of arranging around the 9 to 5 job system that I had managed before. So recent weeks, I've been struggling a lot with getting my work done, getting anything done and not being exhausted. So currently everything is taking too much energy out of me. So I want to focus more on getting a proper system again so that I'm not so exhausted all the time, and then maybe focus on doing things after work. But I don't want to put myself under too much pressure right now because, yeah, not the time for that. And I can do that later. Life goes on and it doesn't stop right now. Goals don't run away. My battery is flashing, so I should wrap this up. I would like to know how you are doing with your goals. I'm quite happy with my bookish goals, as I said before. Life goals, let's see. I'm going to try to run 3 times a week regularly again. So that's the only numbers goal I have for life goals. I'll keep you posted in the next quarter. Let's talk in comments and tell me about your life goals or bookish goals or how you are dealing with your goals, if you still have any. Thank you all for watching, and let's talk in comments. Bye-bye.